Hi, this is Amrita from BizAsiaLive.com, and I have the privilege to be sitting next to a filmmaker whose film is going to be premiering at the London Indian Film Festival 2019 tomorrow, Mr. Anubhav Sinha. Hi, sir, how are you?
Hi, I'm very good. And how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So, as we've just said, you've arrived today and you've gone straight into junkets. How does it feel, the eve of your the premiere of your film?
Very excited, very nervous. You know, there's the first screening ever, public screening. And I'm so looking forward to what people have to say about the film.
Okay. I've got to say, what made you choose to premiere Article 15 at LIF, at like a film festival, as opposed to just have a normal release?
Carrie and Naman called and they said they wanted Article 15 to be the opening film at the festival. Okay. And I said, okay.
Okay. And you've also written the film, and obviously the story surrounds caste discrimination within an Indian society. You've written the film as well. What inspired you to put something like this on celluloid?
I think it's a lot of anger about what I've been seeing around myself, in my world, in my country, in my society. And anger about the fact that we're not doing enough about it. Forget about doing enough, we're not even noticing it properly. So I thought film is such a powerful medium. So I used to rant a lot on Twitter and Facebook, and which means nothing. So I thought I have such a wonderful medium at my disposal. Why not use that? And ended up writing a script which poses a lot of questions, uncomfortable questions to us.
So obviously the festival audience will see this before the commercial audiences and everyone else sees it. What do you think the festival audience will take away from the film, especially because it's premiering outside of India?
I'm intrigued about that actually. And actually I'm also intrigued about the audience in India, because it's not a regular Bollywood film, which songs and dances and action sequences. I'm very intrigued about the audience here in London, because the concept of casteism is sort of not very known to them. But they are aware of the racial discrimination, which is quite the same as the caste discrimination in my country. And so I'm hoping they'll connect with it, because end of the day it is about one human discriminating against another human. So that emotion is basic, and that should be comprehensible to everyone.
Okay, and are there any personal experiences that you've kind of taken when you were writing and directing? Were there any personal experiences that you've had in your life that inspired you to kind of put that on film?
If at all, I have been on the privileged side.
Okay.
I belong to a community which is not classified in either upper or the lower caste. So that way, from my childhood, I have not belonged to that active role. But the community I belong to is an educated community. So we have always had the privilege, but still not the classification. So if at all, I must have discriminated against the lower caste in my developing and growing up years, because that's how it was, and I thought that was normal until I grew up enough to understand that what I was doing was wrong. The maid in my house doesn't need to have separate utensils for her tea, and she can have her tea in the same cup as mine. So I made that change in my house and in my office. But I'm certain I have been a part of it in my growing up years.
Okay. Now, obviously, the lead actor, Ayushmann Khurana, is not known for a film like this. He's known for more light-hearted, social message definitely, but definitely more kind of light-hearted characters, slightly more relatable in a way. He's playing his first cop character. How do you think he's done?
He's done a phenomenal job. I saw the film last night. There was this technical screening for all the HODs, and I saw the film last night before I took off for London. And as soon as I landed in London, I called him and I was talking to him and I was telling him how good he was. and it could be my love for him, but I think I'm old enough to differentiate between my love for him and my appreciation for his work. I think he's phenomenal. Tomorrow you'll see the film, and I'm hoping you'll say the same thing.
And obviously your previous film, Mulk, did really well. It's in terms of creating a conversation about religion and sort of how we think about people more broadly as well. Do you think that this film will create a conversation? Because obviously we've just spoken about there are various legal complications at the moment with your film. Do you think it's going to create the right conversation, Article 15?
Hasn't it started already?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if the trailer did something like this, the film will do more. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed.
I'm sure it will. And I've got to say, your birthday's coming up, right?
It's on the 22nd.
On the 22nd, on Saturday. So I was going to ask you, you've got a film premiere in London, your birthday week. How do you sum that up?
I'll know tomorrow night. Tomorrow night when I walk onto the stage for the Q&A, I will know. How's the birthday week?
Okay, and I've got to say, obviously the London Indian Film Festival is marking its decade this year, and Article 15 opening this year's festival, especially because it's essentially a commercial film, is quite a big deal. What would you like to say for the audiences who have seen the festival grow in the last 10 years, and also the fact that your film is coming in the 10th year, which is quite an important year? What would you like to say?
I mean, a festival that lasts 10 years, it's a great achievement in itself. I know some of the people who run the festival, and they have never invited me even as an audience earlier. This time they have invited me, my film, to be the opening film of the festival. So thank you to them, and hopefully I've made a film that will prove to be worthy of the honor that they have bestowed upon the film. I hope I can stand there with pride, and I would have done justice to being the honor that they've given to me.
Absolutely, I'm sure it will. Now, obviously, because not only because you're here for Article 15, I've got to ask you about a film that I absolutely loved. I think you produced, Rawan. There's been rumours that it's going to get a second part, and I would be really interested to see it. And as I'm sure some of the audience members would also be very interested to see a second part. Can you say anything about that or not?
Every time Shah Rukh and I meet, we talk about it. Mm-hmm. But both of us know that it is going to take 3 to 4 years of our lives. Mm-hmm. And we're not very young at this point. So committing yourself to something that will take 4 years of life will need a lot of conviction and commitment from us. So I think one of these days there'll be this fantastic story that both of us will be equally excited about, and we'll jump into it. Both of us want to make it, but I don't have a story yet for it. It's exciting enough for me to take that 4-year or 3-year long plunge.
Okay. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I'm looking forward to seeing the film tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay.
I look forward to your opinion on the film.
Sure, thank you. This is Amrita from BizAsiaLive.com with Mr. Anubhav Sinha signing out.